Hello everyone, welcome back to the gameplay here from Crustlemania. We are still here in the Pokemon Center in Phoenix City, so basically at this point we are going outside to try and catch one of the three starters in the mid-evolutions. So the three starters in this game are Quilava, Bayleef, and Cyndaquil's second evolved form is Quilava, and then I forget for Alligator's second evolve. Oh, Croconaw. I've had Croconaw and Quilava before, so it's been a long time since I actually had Bayleef. So I decided to go for the Bayleef grass type trainer, or the henchman, to snag Bayleef from him. I forgot to mention the first video. The music in this game is top notch. Even the background music, the battling music. I love the battling music, but like just the background music for the cities and different environments, and just the traveling scenes, really cool. I really enjoy it a lot. So I'm running around here trying to find the grass henchman, and there he is. I didn't realize he was right outside the mayor's house. So you can only face one of them in this game. So if you face the green henchman, then you can only get Bayleef. So you have to choose which one you want. And I don't know what happens if you miss catching them. Maybe you can face the other one, but you can only catch, I think, one of the starters in this Pokemon game from Johto. So as you can see, oh, Big Joe, there's a black aura. There is Bayleef. So this is definitely a shadow Pokemon I don't want to miss, like Makuhita. I'm not going to make that same mistake again, I hope, but I definitely am using Reflect here just to raise a defense barrier, and then I will use Bite on Grimer just so we have a bit more defense, because Shadow Rush is a pretty powerful move. I think this is the first time. I don't think Makuhita used Shadow Rush, so pretty powerful. So raising the defense stats not too bad, but that kind of got nulled because Screech just lowered the defense of Espeon, so that was not great. But used Secret Power because I didn't want to use Bite like last time on Makuhita, so that kind of destroyed it, or kind of lowered its HP. This is super effective. I do that, I believe. So that took out Grimer, which was pretty good. So the next Pokemon is a Spoink, so that's a Psychic type. I'm pretty sure Dark is good against that, but use Secret Power. I was definitely trying to not damage Bayleef too much, but it looks like Bayleef was able to handle a bit more in terms of like attacks against it. Not like Makuhita, where I used Confusion or Bite and it just completely destroyed it. So I used Confusion here and saw that Bayleef can take more hits, so it's gonna take me a little longer to get Bayleef. Super effective there, but it didn't totally take out Spoink with Umbreon there. Dang, Shadow Rush is it can be pretty powerful. So I only have these two Pokemon, so this is definitely an interesting thing. Luckily, I can actually use items like so they're 2 turns. That's like the advantage of like a double battle all the time. And I think this is the only game besides Pokemon XD where the double battle mechanic is like pretty much the main mechanic, which I honestly think is pretty cool. It makes you strategize a bit more when facing Pokemon. So now Espeon's gone, and now it's basically a one-on-one battle. So I basically need to catch Bayleef, or I don't have any other Pokemon. So I definitely start wearing down Bayleef. Luckily, Grass is not very effective against Dark. I don't know, in this game it seems like Umbreon's like it's pretty strong. A little bit stronger than Espeon, but Alright, we got it down to yellow. So in the old Pokemon games, like, you'd have to get the Pokemon down to yellow or at least red before, like, the Pokeball catches him. Not like in the newer games where you can just kind of toss the Pokeball and you have a better chance of catching the Pokemon. You actually have to damage a lot of these Pokemon in the older Pokemon games. So I took a chance here at yellow because I was just like, well, I don't have another Pokemon. I don't want to lose Bayleef, so I'm just going to go throw a Snag Ball. So this is the Snag Ball mechanic. Which I think is really cool. We'll see here. I double tap the A button. Sorry if you hear that clicking like crazy, but that is the old strategy. Is you like just keep tapping the A button until you catch the Pokemon. So luckily I was able to catch Bayleef. So welcome to the team, Bayleef. I did not lose the second Shadow Pokemon, so I'm pretty happy about that. And now that is the starter Pokemon that I basically chose in this game. So yeah, it's interesting how they tell you all that stuff, like oh, we artificially closed its heart, and like they just run off. It's kind of funny how they tell you their plans and then they just kind of run off. Pyrite Town. Oh man, what a fun time. That is the town of Mirby. Oh, I love Pyrite Town. The music in Pyrite Town is pretty cool. The little story in Pyrite Town is pretty cool as well, so. Going to the Pokemon Center for sure because Espeon is down, and when you catch Bayleef, it's still a yellow, so I need to like heal all my Pokemon. Now that I actually have 3 Pokemon, it's quite nice. I should have caught that Makuhita, but it is what it is. As I mentioned, I don't know if I'm going to see that Makuhita again, so I'm going to take what I can get, and I have my starter here. Definitely going to switch this Pokemon out in the front, so Espeon will sit in the kind of the back seat, and Bayleef will kind of run with Umbreon. And definitely going to go into my PC box and save right here, because I do save a lot in these Pokemon games. But especially like after I catch like a major Pokemon, I try and save. So you'll probably see me running to the Pokemon Center a lot in this game, because that's just kind of what I do. When I catch like Shadow Pokemon, I try and run to like the PC and save. So if you are kind of annoyed by me running all the time to the Pokemon Center, sorry about that, but that's just kind of how I play this game. So now we're off to Pyrite Town. Oh, actually, I think we're off to the construction lot. I don't really understand why they're like, oh, you're off to Pyrite Town, and then you have to stop at this construction lot. I guess it's because they're building the Colosseum, but it's just like, you just show up there, and that's pretty much it. Kind of a weird, like, okay, here's the Colosseum. I couldn't remember if it was this game or Pokemon XD where they had the item box, but I think it's Pokemon XD where they have the item box. So I was just running around, I guess, talking to the people. And it's like, hey, we're building the Colosseum, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. Talk to this guy. See there, but for the most part, yeah, I always thought it was kind of strange that before you go to Pyrite Town, you have to stop by here. I guess it's along the way. I guess it's foreshadowing for actually battling in the Colosseum, but it's just kind of an interesting like thing. Like, oh, you're going to Pyrite Town, and it's like, oh, I'm not going there just yet. So kind of strange. Cool music, by the way. Oh yeah, so cool. Like I like how they give you like an aerial view of like Pyrite Town too, and you just hear the music, but it goes into like this cutscene here. Everyone gets let off easy at Pyrite Town, it seems. So, like, look at that, man. Like, dude. Dang, man. Just walked into town. Guess she's the fortune teller of the town, so pretty interesting there. Um, just running around. So I know there are a lot of shadow Pokemon in Pyrite Town, so we're definitely gonna get into that. Um, yeah, I think this is Duking's headquarters, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this is Duking's headquarters. I guess he's obviously busy. Something behind that bookshelf. I don't know. Talk to this guy. Street battles instead of gathering. Yeah, greeting. So, like, battle this person. Yeah, there are a lot of trainers here that you do, like, street battles with, so. And there are a lot of shadow Pokemon I remember in this area of Pyrite Town, so. Nice bite move. I really love the battle music in this game. That's like half the reason why I like this game. Oh yeah, so the shadow Pokemon go into like hyper mode. So with a lot of the shadow Pokemon, I think as you walk around, the shadow meter goes down, but also like in hyper mode. In this mode, basically Bayleef, like the Shadow Rush move gets stronger, but I do like to call them because like it kind of wastes a turn when they go into hyper mode. But it is useful to use the Shadow Rush when they are in hyper mode because it is stronger, but then there's more damage taken with the collision. So it's been a while, so for now I'll probably call the Pokemon just to be safe. But in the future, I might actually have them use Shadow Rush while they're in the hyper mode, just depending, because if the Pokemon's still in hyper mode going to the next battle, they stay in hyper mode, and in hyper mode they cannot listen to you because if you don't call them, then they won't listen, and like you'll have basically a turn wasted because they're in hyper mode. Or I think either they don't listen to you or like the pain affects them, kind of like confusion. So it's been a while, but I believe that might be what happens. But yeah, again, like it goes back into hyper mode. I'm like, man, it goes like the shadow Pokemon in the very beginning go into hyper mode like so fast. It's like I want them to use a move, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, they're in hyper mode. So, but as the bar goes down for the shadow meter, like one move comes at a time. So when you face the Pokemon actually in like when you're trying to catch them, they can use all their moves, but once you catch them, they only have Shadow Rush, and you have to unlock their moves as the meter goes down. So and also the EXP is gained while the Pokemon is battling, even shadow form. So once you purify the Pokemon, they'll gain all the EXP. So pretty interesting there, but I choose to use Espeon just because Espeon hasn't been used in a little while. As you can see there, Synthesis is learned by Bayleef, so that's like what, a quarter down on the shadow meter and a gain to move. So by the way, sorry about the light in the background that reflects off the TV screen. At the time of playing this, like there was a light that like automatically came on, so I couldn't really turn it off while doing the gameplay in the room that I was playing in. So my apologies there, you just might have to bear with that. But basically, yeah, there goes the slack off, and there he goes. And that was the first battle I really had with Bayleef, so pretty cool there after catching it earlier in this gameplay. So get some money there. Get the meter down a little bit for Bayleef. I guess we're just like them. Alright, so here are all the trainers in the square. A lot of these trainers have different, yeah, they have strange Pokemon. Yeah, so this is where a lot of the shadow Pokemon are. So definitely gonna be encountering those shadow Pokemon pretty soon. So right now I'm going back to Phoenix City just because the Pokemon Center is there. I like how the girlfriend has her like ears covered as you're like driving on the bike because that thing is like pretty loud and you're going through the desert. So that's actually an animation I didn't even realize until now that they had her covering her ears. Pretty interesting there actually. So I'm gonna heal my Pokemon. Awesome, my Pokemon are full health. Go back to the PC, save this file. Really glad to have one shadow Pokemon caught. I could have had two, but that's just how it goes. But I'm hoping to not miss some more, but it's hard to say. But overall, that's pretty much this second gameplay. In the next gameplay, I'll probably face a lot of the trainers in Pyrite Town and then try and go snag their shadow Pokemon so I can have more Pokemon in my party so I don't just have 3 Pokemon. So I'm trying to build out my Pokemon party. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this second gameplay video, and we caught Bayleef in this one. So anyways, have a good one everyone. Peace.